Hello guys, this is Miss Plain Jane. Welcome back to my channel, and do I have a story to tell you? Okay, please keep in mind that the stories I do tell are a little embellished and for your entertainment. I am also dramatic. This has been your disclaimer. Let's get into it. You guys know I had took a trip to South Florida to visit my sister. I gotta talk about it. Now, with that being said, with everything going on, you know, with COVID and stuff like that, traveling in the airports and flying is a little crazy. So traveling with a child is kind of challenging when you're doing it by yourself. So with that being said, I was on my way back to Maryland, okay, traveling on the Spirit Airlines, okay, and this is, I guess with me being a type I squirrel, I was not even paying attention to everything that was going on with Spirit, about how they had cancellations and not enough staff workers and electrical problems. I had no idea about any of that stuff, okay, and the story is not about anything about that stuff. I will say this, I do not like flying Spirit, but because it was my last resort and it was cheap to fly Spirit to see my sister, that's what I did. Now, if I had another option, definitely would do JetBlue, Delta. Those are my two favorite ones, but I'm not a Spirit, okay? Anywho, going to check in and stuff like that, you know, Spirit charges you out the yin yang for every little thing. We just decided to get a big luggage for me and Millie and put all our stuff in one suitcase and then just take the L and pay for that one big luggage, right? I love Fort Lauderdale Airport. It is better than Miami in my opinion. Miami's congested, and Fort Lauderdale Airport is just closer to a lot of things in the area that where me and my sister used to live in, and that's just, it's an international airport. But we go to TSA. We have the pre-check on our tickets when we go to TSA, so we don't have to wait in the line. Again, waste of money because we definitely didn't need it. And we actually ended up waiting in the pre-check line. Was it pre-check? Yeah, the shortened check, whatever you call it, shortened check, pre-check. We actually had to wait for somebody in front of us, whereas the other regular line was like moving. But also keep in mind too, the time that we left was like 4 a.m. in the morning. So if you're leaving like in the middle of the day or the afternoon, it might be a little bit busier, but again, it just depends on the airline, the time of day. Just keep those things in mind. There's a whole bunch of different factors to why like you would wait in line for TSA, or if you know, did pre-check and you just would go right through. But anywho, go through the pre-check thing, and we end up at and also pre-check is just a quicker line to get you to the luggage search portion of TSA. Not necessarily like you go through and then like they check you and then you're done. Even though they do have that, that wasn't on my ticket. That's not the thing that we got, or that's what TSA did. I don't know. Like I said, things are changing, things are different. So you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or do a clarification. Help us out. All I know is when we got there, there was 2 different sections. There was the regular line to go and you take up your shoes and put your baggage in there. And then there was like this thing called clearance or something like that, clear blue, something like that. And then you have TSA pre-check, and then you have like shortened check for Spirit. And the Spirit agents were there too. So we went in those lines, and then it led us to like putting in our baggage into the machine, taking off our shoes and stuff. So mind you, I have a baby bag because of course I have Millie with me, and in the bag we have her milk, her juices, her snacks and whatnot, her diapers, ointment, whatever. Going to South Florida, they did not give me a hard time. All they did was ask me to open up, this is at BWI, open up the cup and they check it to see if there's anything in there or whatever. They don't dip a stick in there, but it's like a stick that checks to see if there's any, you know, chemicals or whatnot in there. And then you go on about your business. So I thought that's what was gonna happen because, you know, South Florida, baby, you never know what you're gonna get. So they check the bag. Of course, I know they're gonna like step to the side, you know, you have a bag, blah, blah. So I'm holding Millie in one arm and she's like, can you stand over here for me, please? And she's going through the bag. And I remember the lady, but first of all, it wasn't even gonna be a lady. She came out, it was a black lady with short hair, nice lady. And this white guy comes and he's like tall, has a gut or whatever, and he's like, oh, I could do her. And then the black lady was like, no, it's okay. I need an assist for, I guess it's guy in a wheelchair. I need an assist for them. So I just thought that was kind of shit. Like he was so like, I could do her. And then the black lady was like, no. So she checks my baby bag and, you know, she's taking things out. She takes a little brown strip or whatever, wipes down everything or whatever. And then she gets to the box juices. I had 3 box juices in there, and she says, in order for us to check it, we would have to open the juices, okay, and check to see if there's anything in there. If you do not want us to open the juices, you have to go through a pat down. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's just a pat down because y'all usually do this like way back in the day anyway. You know, you just check the neck or whatever. That's what I was thinking. So I was like, just do the pat down because it's 3 juices, and you know, baby stuff is expensive. And Millie, I didn't buy no airport juice or nothing like that when I had the snacks right here for like $1 something, you know. So I told her, I was like, well, I just do the pat down. So I have Millie, she was like, okay, she puts on the glove. She was like, okay, so let me explain to you, you know, with the pat down, we're going to check the underneath the breast, in the vagina cavity, you know, the buttocks, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. At this point, I'm wearing a onesie, but it's like a short onesie. It's black and a little like a light long white like sweater kind of thing. Anyway, so she's checking me, you know, she's like, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this privately or out in the open? And I was like, oh, no, open, I don't care, you know, I got nothing to hide, you know. So she's like, open up your arms. So I open up my arms like this, and I have Millie in one arm, and she was like, okay, so you have to spread your legs. She's like, spread them more wider, and then she's like, inside, like, where she's going like this, like, feel her hand. I'm like, oh, this is a pat down, okay. And then she's like going like this or whatever. And so she's like, hold me in the other hand or hold your child in the other hand. So I do that, she's taking my arm, whatever. And so she takes her gloves off, and I guess like with her gloves or like the brown thing or whatever, she wipes down the glove or checks my socks, I don't know. But it's like she inserts it into the machine, and usually if it's like one thing or it doesn't go off, then you're clean. But if it goes off, then something's wrong. So she was like, oh, it alarmed. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I was like, what the hell does that mean? And she was like, let me check again. So then she does another pat down, and then it alarms again. So then her coworker or supervisor or whatnot comes in, and she was like, yeah, she alarmed twice. So she was like, okay, we gotta take you to the private room. I'm thinking like a private room, okay? First of all this for some damn juices now. If that was the case, I would have said throw them shits away. About the baby missed my flight. So I'm just shocked. Like, okay, we're going to a private room now. So me and Millie, you go. We don't have our things either. You know, they take the little basket of our baby bag or whatever, and then that's in there. So then me and Millie go into the private room. Millie's like, what the hell going on? And the supervisor comes in, and she was like, I'm gonna do a pat down. So she does the pat down. So this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4 pat downs that I've done. But they were with these black women. So I'm not gonna say that I was completely annoyed, but I did, and this is my opinion, prefer, like, I actually did not mind the fact that they were black women, so thank you very much. However, it did come to cross my mind when that white man was like, I could do her, and I was like, oh shit, if that white man did do me, You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that it worked out the way it did. But anywho, so she pats me down in the private room, and then she comes back. She's like, yeah, I alarmed too. And she alarmed too when she patted me down. And she starts asking me questions. She's like, you know, where are you traveling to? And I'm like, Maryland. She's like, are you visiting? I'm like, no, I'm going back home. And she was like, oh, okay, where did you go? And I was like, Plantation, to visit my sister. You know, it's just, I guess, routine questions. She's like, what did you do there? And I'm like, not a lot. It was hot, it was raining, we had sushi, like, you know, what do you want me to say? So then she goes and she's like, okay. And I'm like, is there a reason why, like, the alarm's going off? She's like, we don't know why, but here's your things, have a nice day. So they give me back my things, right? So as I'm walking out, the lady, she's like helping me because I'm carrying Millie. She was like, I'll carry your box for you. And then I was like, is it? She was like, are you wearing perfume? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you sprayed all over you? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I was about to ask you the same thing. Do you think it's because of my perfume? And she was like, yeah, it could be that. It could be that. And I'm like, why? You know? And then she was like, because a lot of times, like terrorists will like use certain things in like the chemicals and the perfumes or whatever, and whatever they use in like the chemicals, it's in the perfume that you wear too, whatever the ingredient is. So I was like, okay, well, I didn't know that. Like, I'm like, why didn't you guys say anything? Like, I didn't know. She's like, we can't tell you. Okay, well, that saves a lot of people, you know, spraying around trying to smell good around people or whatever. So I think the perfume that I wore was it? I think it was Gucci or something like that. I'm not sure. A Gucci something. Anyway. So yeah. So it set off the alarm. Now that I know that, I'll be wearing nothing but Bath and Body Works to the damn airport. If I'm going to Fort Lauderdale, that's what they're short. Or just throw the damn juices away. Throw the juice away. Throw the juice away. It's not worth it. You'll miss your flight. So thank goodness we like got there really early too. So we had a time buffer before our flight anyway. And then later on found out that the flight was delayed because we didn't have a staff member, and that's when I filled out the whole Spirit debacle thing. So, but that was something that I learned about going through TSA. And if you get patted down and you alarm, it's probably because of the lotion or scents that you're wearing. So keep that in mind. I learned something, so I decided to share the education with you. I think after that, me and Millie, we were on our way. So, but yes, baby, that is the whole TSA pat down debacle. That is my story, and I am sticking to it. I hope you like this video. I hope you learned something, because I did. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below. Comment your worst traveling journeys. If you traveled through Fort Lauderdale Airport or just TSA in general. Did they make you late? Did you miss your flight? What did you do? Did you get a pat down? Did they fill you up, child? Just playing. Leave those comments down below. I will read them because I like reading funny things like that. I hope that I brought some joy to your day, and you continue to share that joy with others. This is Miss Plain Jane, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!